this whole season we've been featuring a lot of the old with new, and in this particular program we're very fortunate and proud to be presenting a world premiere of a work, oddly enough written some 73 years ago by a man named Edward Burlingame Hill. You may not know his name, but he was very prominent in the teaching of classical music at Harvard University. He was a theory and harmony and composition professor, and amongst his students were Roger Sessions, Elliott Carter, Walter Piston, Virgil Thomson, and one Leonard Bernstein. Hill lived from 1872 to 1960, and amongst the works that he wrote, he composed 4 symphonies, 2 piano concertos, a violin concerto, and several other shorter pieces. Leonard Bernstein actually recorded a work of Hill's in his early days. I believe it's one of the first recordings Bernstein ever made with an orchestra. But thanks to my very good friend, Dr. Carl Miller, who is fond of Hill's music, he told me that the 4th Symphony of Hill's had never been performed, and it remained in manuscript form in a library in Harvard University. So thanks to Carl's detective work, we managed to get a copy of the manuscript, have prepared a brand new set of parts for the symphony, again, that had never been played before, and I'm happy to say we're going to premiere it on this program and also record it for a future commercial release of Edward Burlingame's music. I would say he's certainly an American-sounding composer, if not folksy like Copland, more in an optimistic-sounding way like Walter Piston. They had a lot of sounds alike. Very lyrical, a touch of contemporary sounds, but nothing avant-garde. He wrote in contemporary harmonies, but they all sounded very traditional for the time. As I mentioned, the symphony was written in 1940-41, so you can put that in its perspective. It's a 4-movement work of about a half an hour's length. And I thought it'd be fun to start this program with a work by one of his students, and that's the familiar Candide overture of Leonard Bernstein. And then on the second half of the program, our guest soloist Vadim Gluzman is going to play the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. And what's going to be unusual, if not funny, about this particular performance is that Vadim owns the violin that was played by Leopold Auer. Leopold Auer is the man who proclaimed the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto unplayable, grotesque, and really a disservice to music. So on Auer's own violin, Vadim is getting the ultimate revenge by playing the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto on that instrument. And of course, everyone knows this beloved concerto. It may be the most performed of all violin concertos. The program is going to come to a conclusion with the very flashy and beautiful Capriccio Espagnol of Rimsky-Korsakov. I always like to end the season with something colorful, explosive, and fun, and this fits all of those descriptions.